Do you have difficulty concentrating? What about forgetfulness? Do you literally walk into a room and then forgot why you went into that room in the first place? Are you tired a lot? All throughout the day you feel tired. Maybe you yawn a lot, or maybe you just feel like you need a nap, like all throughout the day. This is known as brain fog. It's when we have periods of intermittent or ongoing times where we have a lag in firing in the brain. It's literally like the wires aren't connecting right. Headaches can be common with brain fog, especially dull headaches that last a long period of time. Blurry vision can also be accompanied with this as well. Memory problems, mental fatigue, that's really all known as brain fog. But why does this happen? If this happens to you a lot, stick around, because I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why this could be happening, and then one big aha moment of how you can start moving forward to getting rid of your brain fog. So let's dive right in. So why does this happen? Why do we have brain fog and just these periods where we cannot concentrate? We're very forgetful. I think this is oftentimes just sort of brushed off as, oh, you're probably busy. Oh, the kids were maybe, distracting you. There's just all kind of different excuses we can have, but there's actually something physiological that's going on. Now, granted, you might have a lot going on, and that might be why. One of the reasons why, right? High levels of stress can be a reason for brain fog, but I do believe that there's probably something else going on. So here's a couple of reasons. Maybe you've heard some of these, maybe not. Dehydration can be a reason for brain fog. Also, not getting enough sleep, because that can affect your mental cognition and can therefore, make you have some of this brain fog. Little movement, not really getting enough movement throughout the day. I'm not talking about strenuous exercise, but just moving. Sometimes stagnation that way. And we'll see why that might be an issue as we dig further. And then lastly, as I mentioned, high stress levels can definitely cause some brain fog issues. But here's what I want to kind of keep going as we dig deeper, and we maybe ask why. Why is brain fog going on? So these that I'm going to mention next might be a deeper root of the issue, but I'm also going to give you one step further than these I'm going to mention. So let's go maybe in the middle. Maybe you keep on digging and you find food sensitivities might be contributing to your brain fog because they are causing more inflammation in your body. So that might be one that could be causing some of this. Another is gut imbalances. So maybe you have bacteria or parasites or yeast overgrowth, and that might be causing, again, increased inflammation, more stress on your body. That might be causing some of this brain fog. What about toxin overload from your environments? That could definitely be at more of a root of why you're having constant brain fog. There are others in this category, but I'm going to go ahead and skip on down to take you even deeper. So I want to show you how, at the very, very root of what's going on, it could very well be ineffective, drainage pathways. And so let me take you through so that you can understand how all of this works and why ineffective drainage pathways may be causing your brain fog, plus some of the other root issues that I mentioned. So on the screen here, I have a picture of a funnel. And so I want to talk a little bit about this funnel to help you to understand why it matters in your brain fog. So we have a funnel here. At the very top are cells, goes down even further to tissues and organs, lymphatic system, liver and bile ducts, and then colon. Goes down into to a point with the colon. And so I want you to look at this as a funnel. And so we know that with a funnel, if the bottom is clogged up, none of the other things are going to be able to get out, right? It has no way to drain whatever you put in it. And so, in our day-to-day lives, we come in contact with a lot of different things that our body needs to drain and eventually get rid of and discard. Toxins being a large part of that. Also hormones, also other byproducts of the things that we consume in our foods. So this drainage pathway is very, very important for overall health. But I want to talk about when it's backed up, when it's clogged up. So let's talk about the very bottom, the colon. whenever the colon is backed up, it's not draining properly, everything else is going to back up. By the colon, I mean your poop. So if you aren't pooping, then none of this is going to work properly. So I would say probably for at least 50% of the people that are watching this video, that is a big problem. So that's something that you might want to look into further when you're thinking about, okay, well, how can I really get rid of this brain fog that I'm having all the time? But let's move up one and talk about liver and bile ducts. And so that is another drainage pathway that leads to the colon that is really catching a lot of the other things above it. But I want to go one step further, and that is lymphatic system. So as I mentioned, dehydration may be part of the whole reason why you're having this brain fog. That goes along to ineffective lymphatic system. If you don't have the proper amount of hydration, you're not going to have movement in that lymphatic system. It also goes to talk about the movement. Movement stimulates your lymphatic system, so that could be contributing to this. But again, I want to go one step further, and let's talk about organs and tissues. This would include the brain when we're talking about organs and tissues. And so whenever this pathway is compromised, sometimes it's going to cause brain fog because your brain literally cannot drain properly. And so whenever things overflow, whenever it can't drain properly, it overflows. So one of the symptoms of that would be brain fog. So I hope that you can see how all of this works together and how really I'm going to suggest the first step in you really getting to the root, the very root of what's going on with your brain fog is addressing this drainage pathway and system. So if you're not pooping, that would be the first thing I would address for sure, because it's going to affect everything else. And so really the way that you go about this in a systematic approach so that everything works properly is you do open up the drainage pathways and systems. So the colon and the liver, and then you can do things to support the lymphatic system. Then you can begin to pull these toxins that are really deeply rooted in the organs and tissues. You can begin to pull those out and they can drain properly. And at the very top, you're going to begin to work on mitochondrial function and cellular function, of course, as a byproduct of that. But it has to be done in a stepwise approach. And so that's really what I help people with to do, is to look at your life as a whole, what things might be playing, a piece in this, and go about it in the most effective and the most efficient way so that you can get to the very root of what is causing your issue. In this case, it will be brain fog. But I do believe that if all of these things are at play, you're experiencing other things than just brain fog. So I hope that gives you a better overall view of why you might be having brain fog all the time. And sure, you can work on some of the other issues that I mentioned. You can try, to really prioritize your sleep, which is so important for overall health. You can start to move more. You can help, hopefully decrease some of the stress in your life. You can drink more water. You could even work on, gut health and decreasing toxins from your environment. But what I want to help you to see is if you don't address the absolute root of the problem, you're never going to get fully there. You're only going to get maybe halfway there or 3/4 of the way there, and you're still going to feel this or other symptoms. So I wanted to give you a good overview as far as that goes. So if this is helpful to you guys, let me know by leaving me a comment. Let me know by giving me a thumbs up. I also want to let you know that I go into this issue plus more and really give you a better, bigger overall picture of how you can go about getting to the very root of what's going on. And with all the information out there, how you can filter all of that through one lens to really get a good way forward so that you don't keep spinning your wheels, because I know sometimes it gets very weary. You have spent time and money and energy and all kind of different things for your health, but you still don't feel like you're all the way there. Join me for my webinar. I do it every other Thursday, so I'm going to put the link to go and register for the next one in the description below, so join me for that. Also, I'd love to invite you to follow along with me on Instagram. I love to show up there. I show up big every Wednesday, but also give you tips throughout the week, so go follow me there. I'll put that in the description of this video as well. And subscribe to my channel, because I love putting out videos every week answering a really common question that I see, and hopefully helping you to get to the real root of whatever's going on so you can finally move forward in your health. Thank you for joining for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.